organized. So definitely got to get on that for sure.
Yep. Good. Courtney,
Yeah, mine was.
Hold on. Let's go with ladies first. Shantae?
Go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Hey, Coach. Good morning, everybody. For me, it's my files and my mind. Like once I get distracted, I'm a mess at that point, and I break off and veer off my schedule. Kristen gave me a good tool to help me with that piece of my files. It just looks like a tornado went through, and it's just a mess.
Yep. Where there's chaos, there's confusion, and there's a lack of clarity, and it will impede success.
Yeah,
CJ,
I'm slower.
Yep. CJ.
I gotta get organized professionally. So as I'm a musician, I do music, I do production, beats, audio engineering, things like that. The process of learning and building the skill to do it versus actually, the time you're supposed to do it and work. You know what I mean? That's the area I'm less confident in. I'm pretty confident in my personal organization. I've even, like I said, I got the morning routine going to where now the house is like pretty clean, and I still feel empty though because I'm not getting done things professionally, right? So I could tell I need to get organized in that area. Probably even get either like an accountability partner or find someone and just get a quick consultation or something like that. I don't know, but I do need to get organized in that area.
Good. Love it. Who else we got? Where do you need to get organized in your life for your business?
Yeah, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. This is Aswan in here. Similar to Levi, as I just released my second book, I got to get organized when it comes to speaking regularly and doing table setups regularly, not just once in a blue moon. So now that school's starting back up, I need to get organized like a school where they're constantly, regularly giving out content and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Let me share this. This is for you, Aswan, as well as everyone else. Watch this. I used to go, when I wrote my first book, I would go and say, yo, I'm going on a book tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on a book tour. And then like at the last minute, be like, these are the cities I'm going to. I ain't organized nothing. I didn't do anything, and wonder why nobody would show up. So then I got a little smart and said, I'm going to do the spoken word thing. So I'm going to go to coffee or cafes where they do spoken word. And I was able to sell books there. But then I got smart because I got organized. And I said, you got to plan out. You have to organize. So I learned how to find gigs, speaking gigs. And then initially I would look for gigs and really, I'm talking about for real, expect to get booked for a gig that was going to pay me for next week. Look today, find something where I go speak next week or next month. I really used to believe that. Now we look for gigs 2 and 3 years down the road.
Wow.
We're organizing schedules. When I'm on a back to business tour right now, we are strategically hitting cities where my private clients are located. We just did South Carolina this past week. Antonio did a phenomenal job with bringing people out. We had great conversation, but we organize the tours now. Whenever I go to a city, I have a specific reason for going. When Jay Ross hit me the other day, he was like, yo, I need you to come up to Minnesota. As soon as he said it, I was like, all right, let me see what else I can put in place while I'm in the city. So let's get the date stretched out. Little things like that, organizing your book tour. And look, organizing it for next year, not this year. Because most of us, we do things last minute, we think last minute, we're not organized, there's chaos, and then we don't get the results that we expect because we didn't even give ourselves time to build up momentum. So if you've got a book, you're looking to create speaking engagements, you should be, once you get clear on, all of the front end, the back end stuff, then you start saying, look, where am I going? And if you don't have a huge following, you can't just say, yo, I'm doing a reading for my new book at the Starbucks. All y'all come and think that people just gonna come out. Don't nobody know you, Kendall? That's it, myself. Bro, don't nobody know you. So then I said, you know what? Let me put myself where the people are. So I had to look for what they used to do, Black Expo. all over the United States. Now I think they're only doing it in Indiana. So they were doing it in New York. They were doing one in Jersey. So I would just go find the Black Expos and then go get me a booth. I would look back in the day when they used to have flea markets. I would go to the flea markets and get a booth and sell books and sell sweatsuits. I would look for the places where they were doing spoken word, and I would go and do my book reading. And I traveled around the country doing that. Find the place where the people are.
Right.
You got to look for events, because this is for all of us. Despite what we think, there are events booked right now for 2025. 2025, it's 2021 right now. They got events booked 3-4 years out. They locked in. And that's an opportunity for us to be there.
Right.
Where at in your life and business, life for business, do you need to get organized? You're welcome. Couple more. Where at in your life, business, do you need to get organized? Where you stuck? Don't be afraid. We all family. Yeah. So back to that text I got from Bernard J. Ross. So he said, I look, and then if you look at my calendar right now, so I was supposed to do the call at 9:30 this morning. I got on my calendar, I'm scheduled to do a podcast at 9:30 that I just booked the other day. Then right after that, we got a couples session with a couple after that. And I'm like, how am I gonna do this? I'm just unorganized. You lose revenue, you lose money, you lose momentum. You don't develop a consistency, and that affects your bottom line. Paula, what you got?
Well, I wanted to, I guess, say how I got unstuck and got more organized.
Good.
When you started talking about the personal life comes first. So you helped me with that. So we went through that probably at the beginning of June, and things have changed dramatically because I'm already an organized person. So I had to move some personal things out of my way. And it has helped me to focus on my business and to execute and to start planning and organizing the way that I know I can, so that I can achieve all of my goals for the year. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent. Love it. Love it. Love it. Where at do you need to get organized in life and business? Or I love what Paula just said. Give us some suggestions on, or how did you get organized? Because evidently everybody organized.
Right.
Yeah. Let me put it out here for the record right now. That ain't me. It's a daily struggle, right, to stay organized. But I understand there's some people out here that's just sweet with it.
So this Sharice, I have I don't know if it's a question or a statement.
Sure.
And I'm trying to do better, and I have gotten better with trying to focus on one thing at a time, my business, and not trying to be all over the place. Oh yeah, I need this. Oh yeah, this too. And next thing you know, I'm in 100 different things and all over the place. But just what I think was YB that said, when I read the Profit First book, my immediate thought was like, oh yeah, I need to get on that book too. And in my head, I'm thinking, just in that quick moment, I just added something else to do. And I haven't finished the other 3 things that I need to do. So I know what I need to do. I know I need to focus on one thing at a time. And that's what people say, focus on one thing, master that, become an expert, and move on. But the reality is, when you're doing a business, something you're passionate about, I just find it very difficult to do that. Although I do know I need to do that. So that's where I'm stuck with that.
Good. Thank you for sharing that, Sharice. I'm going to share with everybody a framework that I use to attack my day, meaning to organize the day. YB, what you got, sir?
Yeah, what I was going to say was, I found that in my situation, being organized is like putting a puzzle together, right? So once I was able to find this piece called the Profit First piece and got that understanding, everything that you kept telling me over the years, like, because I wasn't doing it, obviously it didn't really make sense. Like, I was hearing it, but it wouldn't make sense. But when I read this and it gave me that framework, then everything that I was taught from you and from other coaches, now is like, okay, now I have something that's a little more I guess, simplified. And I'm not saying what you told me was complex. It's just that I probably wasn't ready at that moment. But when I found that masterpiece, then once I put that into the picture for the puzzle, then it's like, oh, okay, so now I could put this other piece in, and I could put this other piece in, and then now this other block of the picture is starting to build up, if that makes sense. So I think sometimes, even though, because listen to what Sharice said, even though you might add another thing onto what you're striving to do, that one thing that you add could be the masterpiece that then unlocks the other areas that allows you to then, take other things off your plate, because now you've already put that section together of the puzzle. So that's something that has helped me to get a little more organized. I think for me, even after I heard a couple more people speaking, it may not be for me to clean my office. I may just need to get invest in somebody else to come in and do that for me, so I can put more time into the things that I should be doing.
Yes, exactly. Hey, I wanted to, Sherry said something that made me think about an area of my life I've grown in as well. So I appreciate you saying that, YB. I think, so books, podcasts, any information that you're taking in, I used to be the guy who anything that anybody recommended that I respected or looked up to or admired, if they were reading it, I would want to add it to the list to get it. And I would get it and it would just sit there. So there'd be a pile of books. But once I got focused, and really the word is organized in what it is that I was doing, I recognized the only books and information that I'm taking in is what I can apply right now in the information, right? In the stage of life and the stage of business that I was at. So Profit First was one of those books where I read probably 3 times, because there was some information that was going over my head, right? And I ain't that deep. So sometimes I'm like, I need to hear that again and again and again. But also I recognize when we were having a conversation while we were out of town, somebody was asking like, oh, what's the best book you've read recently? And people were naming all these books, and I was writing them down, and I got a little notebook. But everything I'm reading now is related to the work that I'm doing. Every single thing. So if I'm trying to get organized and I'm trying to build a team, I'm reading things around my consulting business and how to build a team successfully and how people have done that successfully. That's it. I ain't reading nothing else. Between that and the stuff that I'm doing in my diversity work, that's literally all the books that I'm ordering. And I'm not ordering 17 books like we do. I'm talking to Jesse. Not ordering 17 books and just have them sit in the box and say, oh, I'm gonna get to that when I'm gonna read maybe, I'm gonna order maybe 2 of them, because I can't stay focused on just one book. I just can't do that. But I'm gonna be able to say, all right, I'm gonna knock these 2 out. And when I get done with these 2, then I'll order the 2. Or when I get to the last maybe 10 pages, then I'm gonna order the next 2. But you gotta stay focused. I got these same 2 books that are on my desk, and they've been in the same spot for a week. I'm not ordering nothing else because I'm trying to get organized in how my thoughts are. I'm talking to Jesse. I ain't talking to you.
Yeah, I know. You talk to yourself. Hold on, I want to take a poll, Ross. Watch this. And like, for real, y'all prepare. Put a 1 in the chat if you either still have or have had that pile of books, either by the side of your bed, on your desk, books that you're supposed to have read, been reading, are reading. You got more than 2 or 3 books in your spot. It could be by the bed, it could be by the whole hookup. Now look at the chat, Ross. We all come from the same place. We got Raven, Tiffany, Tamika, Eric Curtin's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Right. Now watch this. And then we steady asking people, yo, what you read? What book? Now, here's the truth of the matter. Now, all right, let me not speak for nobody else, but I know I can speak for me and Ross here, because I know my lions, right? And Antonio, and probably Paula, right? Because that's what I know. Now watch this. And maybe Mac, I could probably speak for, because we might look, Bruce, watch this. I might have only read through from beginning to end, like a whole hookup, a whole book, maybe in my entire life, including high school, from beginning to the end. I didn't even read the book I wrote from the beginning to the end, but I might have only read maybe In my whole life, 3 to 5 books from beginning to end. Like maybe, and those were when I was going through my novel phase. Like all of the other books that I have up on my bookshelf, bro, I left New Jersey in 1999. I left the storage in Jersey with full of books because I used to sell them. And I just had books, but I never would read them because as soon as you get started, you get distracted somewhere. And then you jump to another book and you put that book back down. We don't use no highlighters. We don't even use the little sticky things. We fold them pages and we just have all these books and we never fully read them. Not because, because we're not organized, because we're not focused. Go ahead, Mac.
Before I speak, just side note, audiobooks work for me too. I'm an audiobook guy. Like I matter of fact, most of the books that I got hardback, I done converted them over to audiobook now. So I'm good. I could sit in my car and listen to it. So audiobook. But the way I got organized, somebody had said to me, I was trying to get organized, and they was like, before you get organized, you got to do one thing. That's what they said, clean everything. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, clean everything. He's like, first you start physically, then you start emotionally, then you go spiritually. Clean everything. So literally, I cleaned my house, I cleaned my office, I cleaned everything. Then I sat down and got my emotions together about things. And he said, don't be scared to throw out things that you are connected to. So when I was cleaning, there was stuff that I was like, oh, I want to keep this. And he was like, that's why you can't get organized, because that's in the way. That makes you think you got more than what you got. You don't have anything because you don't even use that anyway. So once I started cleaning stuff physically, emotionally, spiritually, I realized, okay, it's not hard to organize because I ain't got as much as I thought going on here. All right, put this here, put that there, put that there. Now I'm able, the next step was to create a system. So I created a system now on how I write. I create a system now on how I get things done. I create a system now on, okay, we write at this time, we read at this time, we at the office at this time, and I don't break it. And the reason why I don't break it is because the second you break your system, everything suffers. Everything. Something is going to get dropped. Something's not going to happen. So when people call me with them, I like to call them sudden emergencies that belong to them, I don't respond the same no more. That's the part of cleaning my emotions. I used to be a guy you could call, oh my God, danger, I'm coming. Now it's like, danger. I'm like, you better go to the hospital. They're like, I need, I'm like, well, I pray for you. That seems horrible. But for real, I can't be everybody else's savior at the expense of myself. So how I got organized was I just cleaned the junk out. I just cleaned everything. And when I mean clean everything, it's crazy. I'm looking at it right now. I got a plaque on my desk that say a cluttered desk is a sign of a genius. I have that on my desk. But for real, I work so much better now that I know where everything at. I know where all my books at now. I know where everything at on my desk. I know everything's at. So now that I know where everything's at, I know where the puzzle pieces are at. I can put the puzzle piece together when it's time to put it together.
All right. Appreciate that, Matt. Clean everything, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I'm gonna give y'all the framework that I use and I share to attack the day. Super simple. And I think it was Ross. Ross had just said something that reminded me of it. So think about right here. This is your target. My bad. This is your target or goal or objective, right? That's right there. Then you want to you know what the goal is. So that gives you your dominant focus. So for, let's just say every month, at the beginning of every month, you set your targets, you set your goal, you set your objectives. That becomes your dominant focus, right? And then you map out what you're going to do weekly. The task that you're going to do weekly to hit it. This is your month right here. Your dominant focus for the month. What am I going to do weekly to hit that dominant focus? And as you start to do your weekly, then you say, what are my daily tasks? So watch this. At the beginning of the month, you have a target. Let's just say the target is I want to make $100 this month. I'll just use money. Let's say 100,000. Say I want to make $100,000 this month. So I have a target, a goal, an objective, whatever those are. You can have more than one. So now I know for the month, I have one dominant focus, 100 grand or $100, right? So that's my dominant focus. So now I need to break down exactly what I need to do every single week that will help me, a high value activity every single week that is going to get me to that, closer to that dominant focus. Then I start to create high value activities and tasks for my daily activity so that now every single day when I wake up, I am focused on one single tangible dominant focus, and I am not focused on low value activity. My only focus is high value activity. High value activity is that activity that is putting you, that is directly connected to your dominant focus for the month. So for example, like Max said, somebody might call with a different energy. They might have a personal emergency. They're bringing drama into your life. If it is not connected to your dominant focus, then you have to make a decision. So a lot of times we get derailed, we get thrown off course because first, we really don't even have a target, a goal, an objective, or a dominant focus. So when Ross says he's only reading books on the team building piece because his dominant focus is to build a team for his consulting business. So he's learning about that. So the activities, the high value activities that he is engaging in is specifically for help him create the team. Once you have your dominant focus, you don't get derailed from that. So now when you're talking about, all right, I'm working on something, it's a high value activity, it's connecting me to my dominant focus, but then I get distracted. The distractions are always going to come. They're not going to stop. You have to discipline yourself to stay focused on your dominant focus. So that book that you need to read, if it is not in that 30-day period, gonna help you get to your dominant focus, then it needs to wait. Put it on a list, put it in your to-do, do something with it. But the only thing you should be focused on a hourly, a daily, a weekly, and a monthly, at a monthly pace is that dominant focus, the targets, the goals, and the objectives that you have for that month. Let me save that because I'm still working on it. Dominant focus. What is your dominant focus for the month? And do it every single month. Like a lot of times, Ross, like, we'll say, yo, I want to do $1 million this year. You done skipped over 100,000, 400,000, 600,000, 832,000, 999,000. Skipping all over that to get to 1 million, and you don't even have a dominant focus for the month. You want to lose 100 pounds. You done skipped over 10 pounds, 11, and then all of the activities that we're doing in a given month ain't got nothing to do with your dominant focus. So ask yourself, what's my dominant focus? Carla, what you got?
Hey, I wanted to share a hack for reading books.
Good. Go
So
ahead.
I tried the ebooks, they too long. The audiobooks, they're too long for me, whether I'm writing or whatever. But in any event, I found an app called Blinkist, Blinkist. So it's like Cliff Notes for books. So what I do is it gives you the main bullet points for the book, and then you can determine if you want to read it further. But it takes about 15 minutes to read one.
Good.
I was gonna say executive summaries work too, because let's just be real. Ain't nobody reading the whole book. Y'all stop playing.
Right.
Y'all
Right.
stop playing.
Right.
Paula.
Yes.
Somebody, no, hold on. I can't let that go.
What?
Ross, there is about 1% of people that's reading the whole book. I'm talking about
that's cool.
I just gotta be honest. I'm gonna be real. I ain't got time to read the whole joint.
I don't
don't
either.
have the time to do it.
I don't either.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Go ahead, Ross.
Paula, what you got?
Oh, that was Paul, I think.
That was me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought he said
Carla.
Carla. I thought he said
I
Carla.
did say
Okay, I
Carla.
thought-
Paula
yeah,
just
That's what I thought. I was like, I heard
Carla.
Carla, but
But
my
you know
bad.
what? Everybody messes my name up like that. That's because I know he know it. I ain't mad.
Yeah. I knew that was Paula. I know I said Carla though. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Carla.
was gonna say.
Okay, what do you do? I've had so many personal distractions. You know, I'm in Texas, so it started with the freeze, right? I'm sleeping in a car, me and the family, because, you know, the heat is out, water's frozen, et cetera, et cetera. Come out of that, and then, you know, the HVAC system went awry, and trying to get
You went on mute on accident.
a second, let me turn this off. So I've had personal, you know, issues to deal with, and some of them take all day. I work third shift, and I come up with a plan, right? And I'm thinking it's a good one, and I think the issue's resolved, and it's not. I find out it's not, and I keep having to go back, you know, to you know, number one, and I'm just getting frustrated because I want these things to go away. I need to move forward, but I have to keep going back addressing them because of the companies that I'm dealing with. The car was totaled, all these different issues, dealing with insurance companies, all these different issues. And so it's really, I'm getting discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard someone say that, you know, maybe you have to have somebody come and, you know, help you declutter. I'm not sure if I would be honestly willing to relinquish my authority to allow them to help me, because trying to hold on to things that I think are working and just listening to this conversation, they really aren't working. So I need to let it go.
I was gonna say, well, it sounded like you answered your own question. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Kendall jump in. So I heard you. I just want to make sure I make that clear. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Anybody remember or heard about what happened in Minneapolis 2 years ago? All right, I got a couple faces. George Floyd. Then the world blew up, literally. I just told Kendall, actually, before that all happened, I got 2 cars stolen. I just got another car stolen not too long ago. I got 5 kids, all in private school. I got a daughter in college in private school. We just went to Hawaii. My wife want to leave her job. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Kendall got a whole list of stuff. You could go on and on and on. We all got things going on. So I just want to make sure I normalize that. Not saying that what you're going through isn't difficult, isn't tough, but that's what we mean when we say life is going to happen. The other piece of that is where you said, I don't want to relinquish control. I think that's a lot of where we're at. We want to, it's just, we're going to run with the book analogy. We hoarding all of these books, all of this stuff, all of these responsibilities, all of the things that need to get done. And nobody said you have to do all of them. But we, and I'm talking to Jesse as a business owner, Jesse as the ego, Jesse as the man, Jesse as the dad, Jesse as whatever you want to fill in, feel like we have to do it all. And we recognize, and I didn't recognize until later, after I bumped my head enough times, that nothing works until I let it go, right? And so when we're talking about cleaning it out, when we're talking about simplifying things, you got to get to a point where, does it bother you enough that you're willing to do something about it? Kendall.
All right. As you were sharing all that, Antonio, you still on? Yeah. Okay. So I was in South Carolina, Carla, on a couple of days ago, and okay, I was in South Carolina a couple of days ago, and I started sharing some stories around what life looked like as I was building up to where I am. And one of the common denominators in what I said was, I didn't blow up financially for the reasons that most people think we all blow up financially. I blew up financially because I got my life together first. I moved to Atlanta from New Jersey, September of 1999. I moved to Atlanta broke. I took a contractor position that was $8 an hour. I didn't have any sustainable income. I moved I had my first wife at the time and 3 kids. We lived in a extended stay for a year. One room, not one bedroom, one big room, all 4 of us. I was drinking. My character was in the basement. I didn't have no license. I came from Jersey, drove to Atlanta, and didn't have a license for 10 years. I had a 400 credit score. I was broken, toe up, and it got progressively worse over the years from 2000 all the way up to 2010, 2011. The alcoholism got worse. Life just got worse. And what I told them in South Carolina was, I've always been a hustler, so drips of money will come in, meaning good things would happen, but then the bad things that were happening seemed to outweigh all the good. And every time you think you take 2 steps, Leroy, you know what I'm saying? You take 2 steps and it's looking good, then something will happen from your past or a decision that you made before that'll mess stuff up. I used to write checks to cover bad checks that I wrote. I was just hustling. I'm messing bank accounts up. Couldn't even open a bank account. Cars getting repo on the foreclosure list, went through a divorce. Like everything was tore up. Losing barbershops. Like the whole thing was jacked. And I found that one thing. And here's the thing, Levi, I just kept saying, yo, I used to look in the mirror and say, yo, you got to stop drinking. Now that might not look like anything to anybody because we always look at the end. How you already making money. What is this drinking going to help you if you stop drinking? Stop smoking, stop derailing your own life. But I told them in South Carolina, Carla, everything shifted when I stopped drinking. It ain't have a damn thing to do with the bottle. It had everything to do with the discipline, with me setting and making my mind up. Because when I was able to go 30, 60, 90s, 1 year without drinking, that gave me the confidence to be like, yo, if I can do that, I can do anything. So I first removed that thing in my life that was parasitic. For me, it was drinking at that time. Then I caught it. I was like, yo, when I make changes in my life, changes happen in my life. So then I removed, that was the bar. Hold on, wait a minute. Before
Hold
up.
What you say, Coach? Let that breathe.
No, I ain't even saying it again. I ain't even gonna say it again. But when I make those changes,
I got it. Thank you.
You got it, Ernest. When I made those changes started to happen. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh. So then there were some people that I was hanging around with. I made adjustments there. I stopped hanging around with those people. It was one more thing that I had to do to really get loose. And it was my man. I love him to this day. We just got difference of opinion and stuff. 40 years I'm talking about he godfather to a couple of my kids, best man, both of my weddings. I'm best man at both of his weddings. We've been rocking since 14 or 15 years old. I haven't talked to him in 6 years. So I had to remove some things in some people. Not that the people were bad, not that the things were bad. They just weren't working for me. And when I made those adjustments, Carla, when I stopped doing some things and then I started doing some things, then the other things started to build momentum. So I took my eye off the money because Max, CJ told me money is the last thing that's gonna come. Success is not what you get at the top of the mountain. Success is what you get on the way to getting to the top of the mountain. All the things that you're willing to stop doing, all the things that you're willing to start doing, all of the relationships that you make, all of the relationships that you repair, all of the people that you're willing to let go and kick out of your life. The things and the changes that you're willing to make in your life today will set you up for tomorrow. Now, for me, those negative things, the bad drama, the bad energy kept coming because I was still connected. I had to completely disconnect. Like Max said, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I disconnected from everything that I thought I knew. And watch this, I became a whole new man. So here's what I'm gonna leave you with. You want success? It's not about what you want, it's really about who you need to be. You gotta be a whole new woman. And look, it is not gonna happen when you want it to happen, because I didn't know that I made the first 6 figures in this business. I didn't know when I did it. I was just working, not just working on the business. I was working on me every day, staying sober, staying clean, keeping my character right, doing right by people. Watch this, paying debt, paying people that I owe money to, getting my license, getting my passport. I'm just working. And Leroy, one day it just boom, here you go. Now, stuff still happens. Like Ross said, life still happens, but I'm a whole new man. So now when stuff happens, I don't let other people's behavior affect my character. And my character right now is I'm on a mission to be the best man I can be. And watch this, yo. When I'm the best man that I can be, the money gonna follow me. Because when I'm great, money is attracted to great. You gotta be a whole new woman and you gotta be a whole new man. And it starts with you. Everybody got their thing. For me, it was the bottle at that time. And watch this. Once the bottle go away, it's gonna be something else. Now, in this time, like we talked about last week, man, it's my health. I gotta make sure I'm on point healthy. So you gotta find out what those, first of all, who you need to be. Then what are you willing to stop doing? Write these down. Somebody throw it in the chat. And I gotta go because I got a 9:30 appointment. What are you willing to stop doing? What are you willing to start doing? And then you got to have a reason why you're doing it, who you're doing it for. That's going to push you when you feel like you can't go no more. Who do you need to be? What are you willing to stop doing? What are you willing to start doing? And why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, who's counting on you.